going to war with your friend may seem like it's not the best idea. It seems like sometimes it may be is or anything like that. If they're basically considered as the enemy, then they probably would not have made. They will probably will have no choice to basically just to do what they need to do and settle differences and stuff like that. Because a war is just basically just something that a lot of people don't like. And so we see a lot of the people passed away and died in starvation of food and all that other stuff, homes and stuff being destroyed. And this is but with this anime for Hyperdimension Neptune, I think it's pretty much is a lot more different than basically what you usually see. Basically, usually see. Now, one thing I really want to mention is about Hyperdimension Nebula. I think what they're supposed to do, they're basically just a bunch of CPUs. Means that they are basically they're the ones supposed to defend their territory when it comes to, I guess, what I would say the battle on the internet, right? So with that, because let me just say this as well too, because the internet does have very powerful things that can help you to go online and somebody else with your laptop, computer, or your cell phone, whatever it is, or basically playing a video game or anything like that, whatever it maybe is. And it's very, very important to keep all things in check because you basically have if you have like some kind of protection program that can help you out, it can really help you block the areas from allowing the really bad guys. I would just put it that way, the really bad guys. Yeah, come on, man. They did probably take over your computer or take over your phone or your game station, whatever it is, and stuff like that. And they can get access into a lot of data. That's something basic that can really pretty much can happen. It could pretty much mean that the doomsday of basically like what happened back with Terminator, back with them, with Skynet, Skynet became self-aware. That's that's basically what they did. They became self-aware, and now they have the instructions of what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to eliminate all human beings on the planet, and that's what they're doing. So I don't mean to get into the Terminator whole situation, but I want to press want to say is that when it comes to basic anime, basically like that, their jobs is supposed to do is to make sure like everyone's like having fun, doing their own thing and stuff like that, and that's what their objective is supposed to do. They're supposed to defend their own area basically on the internet because if they don't protect their own area basically into the internet, that could become a huge problem because sometimes the viruses could take over the CPU and the CPUs could be taken over, and that's not a good thing. That's not a good thing because a lot of people would think that we do rely on CPUs and stuff like that. I don't know what CPUs are basically are, but I think they're just protections and stuff like that. They're supposed to protect you and protect your source of your power. It's kind of like you have your own castle. That's what basically it feels to me. Take us for instance for me. I have a Cox cable, which is basically I live down in Florida. I don't know any of you guys got Cox cable or Warner or something like that. I don't know. And even though can my internet can be affected? Yes, it can be affected. It can be affected because if my internet was being too affected, that means basically all of the rest of the programs in my area that could be taken over and they can get a hold of those sensitive information just like I said before about with basically with Skynet, like with the Terminator, when Skynet became self-aware and basically what they did and basically what they did, they thought this was basically a virus was basically like, oh, this is no big deal or anything like that. But even though basically with the third movie, it showed that right there that Skynet was hoping for something like that to basically happen. So they pretty much not set themselves up, but they're trying to put the humans to set themselves also up too because they created a program. And even though with that program, it became bigger, 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 and bigger. And that's what they're doing. They're buying times, and so they can get ready to launch into the future based of a war with humans and stuff like that. And that's what basically is. Now, if it were to gain access like to the military or basically other governments for that, that is possible also too. That's possible also too because, like I said, that's what the Terminator really actually is because they're basically what the Skynet was trying to do is try to kill human beings. That's what they're doing. That's what it kind of reminds me of based off this anime of Hyperdimension Nebula. I know some people probably don't want me to mix up between the Terminator and also with the Terminator also with the Hyperdimension Nebula, but they both do share their similarities because that's what they're basically supposed to do. So is the CPUs, are they human? In a way that they are, but in a way I don't think so. I really don't think so. That's not really basically the possibility of basically what they are. But like I said, for what they're supposed to do, in my case, in everybody else's case, they're supposed to your CPUs, whatever protection that you have, they're supposed to help you to block those situations from coming through. But if that doesn't happen, they can break through and they can really take control of your information. They can use that to probably to bankrupt you and for something a lot of other different things and stuff like that. That's why it's so important to basically have like a protection program because like I said, right, if you don't have no protection program, you're not going to be able to defend yourself. You're not going to be able to do it. Just like yeah, we're lacking at the line. We're all in a castle, and we're not doing anything to stop them. And even though they just keep coming, they just keep coming, they just kept coming, but more and more to it than that. Guess what? We're finished, and stuff like that. That's what it basically feels to me. That's what the basically those girls are trying to do. The CPUs. That's what they're trying to do. They're supposed to trying to protect their certain area of their own areas. Not like a country or something like that, but different sectors based of different areas, based on different areas. That's what they're supposed to do. That's what their job was supposed to do. They have no choice to base it of that. They're programmed to basically do that. If they don't do their job, and if something bad really basically happen, then those CPUs, they could be taken over also well too by the virus also well too. Because if the CPUs get taken over by the virus, that's not good. That's not a good thing at all. And that's why taking in the viruses is a protection to make sure that this doesn't happen, and it really doesn't. Because even though basically of their friend of what's her name, I think it's Iris or somewhere or anyways, Yellowheart. I'll just call her Yellowheart. And one thing I want to say about Yellowheart, based on herself, is basically that she's being used. Means that she's being controlled by the virus. Means that the virus manipulate her in her mind to do what she's supposed to do. And so the reason why they capture her is basically because they're using that. They're using her to basically as a target for the CPUs to basically attack her. But do they have a choice? They do have a choice. They really do. Sometimes CPUs have to do what they must do. Sometimes they have to. Sometimes if they really don't, then it's going to really going to get really bad. That's why like I said, that's why I'm saying that because regards of basically like what's going on like with the Terminator, just like with that, that's a different similarity because it's just like that's what they're supposed to do. They're setting themselves up, not setting themselves up, but they're setting themselves up to basically do those things and stuff like that. So I think the point, like I said, I'm trying to make here is that if you don't have no firewall or any protection, you know, for your computer or for your internet, then you're going to be in a lot of trouble. That's not a good thing at all. It's not. Just like what happened with, like I said before, with Terminator 3, they got some sort of virus was affecting Skynet. Skynet is the virus. Guess what? All the major cities around the United States, all over the world, has been destroyed, and now it's their job to basically do multiple of other different human beings is to launch a campaign and fight against them. That's what they're supposed to do. That's what they're supposed to do. So I mean, it could really could happen. It really could. That's why it's so important to basically to protect the country. But if you don't protect the country, guess what? The country's doomed. I'm serious. I'm not joking around. I mean that's what it basically feels to me. So that's why it referenced from what I'm saying here from that into based off this anime as well too. But like I said, they both have different similarities, but they're not likely to be the same. But they have different options and different opposites of basically what they do. It's not like they're the same. There's really not. So yeah. So yeah, anyway, so that's it for this anime review. I love you. What you guys have to say. So yeah, anyway, so sometimes I'll see you guys later. Take care. Hope you have a day. Don't forget to subscribe. Please consider subscribing. Place a like button. Give me a thumbs up or give me a thumbs down. Doesn't matter to me. And leave me comments below. Excuse me. Anyway, so I love you guys. Take care. Hope you have a day. Take care. God bless. Love you guys. Take care. Bye.